A pair of Scripps News reporters are being called hackers after they exposed that 170,000 people's identities, their personal information, their social security numbers were publicly available on a company's database. And, well, the company disagrees. They say that they hacked into their base and that they should be susceptible to the CFAA, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Though the reporters themselves are saying, well, we did a simple Google search. So what do you make of this?
I expected more air quotes from you in that summary.
Well, when I do this, I'm saying alleged. These are things that I do not consider fact.
So what is being done to these quote-unquote hackers?
Well, they'll likely face civil litigation, and the attorneys for VCare, which is an India-based customer call service, which had the information. These are from people who applied to the government's, the FCC's Lifeline subsidized cell phone program, and when they were informed that they had been accepted, this call center had done that. And they were supposed to have deleted the personal information of all these people, but apparently they didn't, and it was still on their database and it was still accessible. But the issue is, were the reporters who found the information, should they be considered hackers, or was it actually publicly available in a Google search like the reporters claim?
Well, the way I read this is that these two guys saw an exploit. They saw something that shouldn't be available, shouldn't be accessible, lots of personal information, 170,000
different people. Yeah.
Wow, with social security numbers and all kinds of
addresses, all kinds of information.
They found this, they brought it to the attention of the people who made the mistake, and rather than admitting they made a mistake, they decide to crucify these two guys, calling them hackers.
Well, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act is something that it needs to be reformed, because alleged hackers, see?
There's
like the air quotes?
Nice.
Yeah. Alleged hackers get really disproportionate punishments under this act, and I think it should be changed, but that's notwithstanding this whole ordeal.
If this information is publicly available to the people that know how to find it, it's sort of like walking into someone's home who left the doors open.
Yeah.
It's not breaking and entering,
but it is trespassing.
But it is trespassing. Now, there's a degree of privacy that you expect from owning a home or renting or whatever, that people just can't walk in on the street. You know, that's trespassing.
Right.
This is my home, this is not where you live.
But what if I leave my door unlocked?
But, I mean, the other thing is that there's no such, there's no expectation of privacy for, you know, web domains, web addresses, URLs, databases. There's no keep out signs. If I could type in a URL, I expect that I am able to go there.
Right.
You know? So I don't know exactly what laws these guys are breaking, accessing publicly accessible
data. Well, it wouldn't
data.
be the first time. I mean, I've covered this before alone, about a hacker who exposed AT&T's very bad security that left customer information completely, well, not completely, but accessible to someone. And he was very severely punished under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. And I did not think it was fair, but it did happen. So the way that they're claiming that they use their elite skills to break into these servers is by using an automated method to access the data. What was that method? It was GNU wget, and it's a batch download service for
free,
HTTP.
open source,
yes,
anybody can use it.
Absolutely free and open source, available to, you could get it right now. So do you think this counts as hacking? I would say,
I mean, it's not as easy as just typing something into Google and finding social security
numbers.
Not
it's probably not as easy as they purported it to be, but it's still there, and it's still easily accessible by the public.
The bigger problem is that these corporations, rather than admitting fault and being embarrassed and having their shareholders be angry with them for messing up, is it's much easier to throw these guys under the bus, call them hackers, give them really strict sentences. That's just how it goes. I mean,
it's so much easier to pretend to be the victim rather than to be exposed as lazy or incompetent.
More likely.
More likely, yeah. I absolutely don't know, because we don't know all the facts in this yet, but to me it seems like this company is overreacting and trying to cover their asses.
And the way clearly the laws are written are on their side. Why would they ever admit to wrongdoing when the laws against, you know, online hacking are so are so strict, or so vague and open-ended?
I feel like our definitions of hacking are also vague and open-ended, and I don't think there was any malicious intent here. And I think that needs to be considered. A big problem of the CFAA, in my opinion, is that it kind of eschews logic for hardline rules. We need to think with more common sense, and we need to think, instead of just slamming down our hackers, see the air quotes? Because again, we don't know how to define hackers that well, according to this at least. We should just think like people instead of just slam down the punishment.
And Kim, I'm no lawyer, let alone a space lawyer.
You're a space lawyer in training.
Yes, I am. But I have seen a lot of episodes of Law & Order, and they throw around the word intent a lot. That is important to look at when you're looking at any given crime. Well, what is the intent? And if these guys expose this and take it to the company to show them what's wrong, I feel as though that's not malicious intent. If
I don't think journalistic purpose is either malicious intent. I mean, sure, it's embarrassing, but it's not malicious.
Yeah, they're trying to get this exploit fixed, not exploit it.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not an attorney in this case.
Neither am I.
Or it's not yet a case, but it likely will be.
Open and shut case, I think.
From what, Tim Frisch, Space Lawyer, Esquire?
Lawyer. Yeah.
Okay, sure. What do you think of this story? Is the CFAA being abused in this case, or are the reporters kind of in the wrong and should probably be susceptible to it? Let me know in the comments.